Hey YouTube, I decided to do a video. I'm usually doing about computers and things of that nature. Anyway, I wanted to do a video on my M44 Mosin Nagant carbine. I bought this at Big Five about, I don't know, 8 or so years ago, maybe longer. Anyway, I paid $86 for it. And when I got it, it was just basically drenched in cosmoline. It took forever to finally get it off. And I always still had a problem, like it felt really greasy and just, it was uncomfortable. Anyway, so after a while I finally started looking and seeing how people got rid of theirs, and after trial and error I finally got majority of it scraped off. Well, after I managed to do a bunch of heat treating and soaking it in gasoline and bunch of other stuff, trying to get all the cosmoline worked out, it became really dry. And since I live here by the coast, it took forever for it to dry and set up. It took me 3 or 4 times. Finally, I figured out that by heating the wood, and I mixed a little bit of 2 different shades and a little bit of acetone, I do believe. I finally got it to work right, and it finally set up. But once it set up, it was really dark. It didn't really make the wood grain pop. You know, it didn't really look like it was well worthy of what I would call a surplus rifle. So I did a little more research, and I found out that since the wood was dry, I decided to do a little test and try vegetable oil and basically heat the wood up again. Not, just 150, 200 degrees. Heat it up and basically take a little bit of vinegar, white vinegar, and a little bit of canola oil or vegetable oil. But in this case, I used olive oil. And basically just run a light coat and let it set, and then try it again and try it again. And it really worked out. The wood's a lot darker. There's still a little dark spots, but it's starting to, some of the shading right up in here, it's starting to work it out. And then you're going to notice the wood grain starting to pop out. And that's really what I like. I don't like tactical, flat black or carbon fiber or glass-filled stocks. Whenever I go for rifles, I like the wood appearance. I like to see the grain of the wood. I like it. To me, it's more characteristic. So I'm working on that. It's a slow process. It really is. And just by any means, I am no means of a gunsmith. Everything I learn is hands-on, watching YouTube videos, doing research, and it's basically trial and error. And also, I went ahead and I went to I guess what they call a 2-stage trigger. And a lot of people go for the light trigger pull. I don't. I prefer a heavy trigger pull on my rifles. Why? Because I just don't feel the need for a light trigger pull, and especially it runs the risk of you shooting a hole in your floorboard, or shooting yourself in the foot, or shooting yourself in the ass, or your friend in the ass. It's just not, to me, it's not worth doing something like that just to run a high risk of shooting yourself or others. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the little metal pieces, I'm going to sand them down nice and well, and I'm going to paint them black. And I've got a little bit of chrome, I guess it's kind of like a chrome red, and I'm going to paint them and kind of bring it a little bit of red to it. That way they really kind of just pop and stand out. Also, another thing about the carbine, M44 carbines, the 9131s, they really have a long top piece. When I got this one was like a weird two-tone. So it took me a little bit longer to get it to strip out all the cosmoline, and also it's cracked. And if you can see the huge ass crack, all the way through it. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. I may, you know, get rid of it. I may not get rid of it. I'm torn. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with it until I may make another one. I don't know, but I am going to take the stock a little bit further. I'm going to I'm going to heat and rework the lug. I'm not going to go buy an aftermarket whenever I can do the metal work myself. And bend the lug over. I'm going to do a little bit of see if I can tighten up the tolerances on here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but they're really loose, and I think that's what causes a sticky bolt. I think that there's still some cosmoline deep down inside. I'm going to try to work that out. I'm going to free float the barrel. And so far, that's about all I've got. Any comments or questions, please feel free to ask. My next video, I'm going to go over the basics of what you need to basically, you know, do-it-yourself gunsmithing. Just the basics that I've picked up that I've learned how to get. Most of them can be bought at Home Depot, Walmart, Harbor Freight, and they're relatively inexpensive. Anyway, y'all have a good day and good night, or whenever the time is that you watch it. Feel free to comment, question, share. I don't care what you do, as long as it's legal. And I will see you next time. Thank you.